Yo, what's good YouTube? It is your host Sage Samurai here and welcome to the channel. Today I'm here to bring you another part to what if Asta had Acnologia's powers. Guys, it's been a while. It's been a while since I posted a video, and the reason for that is because I went on vacation once again. It is summer, so of course I went on vacation with my family. We had fun, and we're back again, but I don't know for how long. So I'm using the opportunity I have to post a video. If you guys understand that, thank you. If you guys don't understand, well, aw geez, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But that's besides the point, guys. I'm here for the part, and honestly, I want to get into this as soon as I can. But there is something I want to just let you guys know. I decided that for now, I plan to actually add a few of my ideas into this what if. And before you guys start commenting like, what? I mean, it's what if you're already adding your ideas. What I mean is, what I usually been doing whenever I make character, like, you know, if this guy had this guy's abilities or something like that, what I usually do is just stick to the character's like powers in general and just leave it like that. But what I want to do is actually add my own spin into this. So pretty much making the characters actually use the powers in a different way than the original characters. So pretty much, even though they have the same abilities, this character is using it differently, or the character that got reincarnated is using it differently than he did in his past life. So I'm going to be doing that for now, considering the fact that I have a lot of interesting ideas, and I think it could be cool and fun. Besides, I make these what if for entertainment and for fun, as it entertains me as well, considering I'm a ginormous nerd, but who cares about that? But besides that, guys, I just want to let you guys know, thank you all so much for tuning in, and either way, why don't we begin this what if? So besides that, let's begin.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Alright guys, let's begin this what if. Hopefully you guys do enjoy, and either way, let's begin. We now kick off this what if with Asta's arrival to the battlefield, as due to him appearing, this will rise up the spirits of multiple magic knights, just due to the fact that Asta's fighting spirit was so tremendous that it influenced everyone around him. And not only that, but Asta also brought reinforcements along with him, this including the rest of the Black Bulls, along with the rest of the magic knights that were once reincarnated elves, but the Black Bulls were able to lift the curse off of them, so now they brought like their own miniature army to accompany them into the battle. Now, this will end up causing the reincarnated elves to actually take a step back, and think about this, considering the fact, like, you know, they were at first an advantage, but that is now turned into a disadvantage, and now they're being outnumbered. To think they would show up again. I was planning on annihilating them earlier, but I didn't get the chance. Thankfully, now I do. At this, Asta, who currently right now was on the battlefield as he was rampaging, legit knocking out multiple reincarnated elves at once. As he was challenging them all with a smile on his face, but then sensed familiar magic energies. But he was not the only one, as the rest of the Black Bulls also sensed it. At this, you will then see appearing right beside him, along with his little sister, you will see none other than Gauche and Marie, in their reincarnated states. At this, Magma, seeing Gauche, would then get pissed off as he then shakes his fist at him. Ghost, you dang idiot, what the heck? You tried attacking our base, what's wrong with you? But he would then realize once again that Ghost was under control, so he just sighs. Doesn't matter. I guess I'm just gonna have to knock you out. As Magma would then charge after him, as he would then suddenly shoot out multiple flaming chains wrapped around his arms, ready to attack Ghost. This is when suddenly a mirror would then appear right in front of him. You dare try to attack me, human? What a joke. At this, Magma would then be surprised as inside the mirror, he would then see Marie's gaze as her eyes were glowing pink. Now, this would cause Magma to actually stop moving as he was unable to no longer move. What? At this, Magma would then be surprised as this when suddenly a purple beam would then be shot directly at him, causing Magma to do nothing more but watch. Oh crap. I'm dead. As he would then be surprised as the beam would then be absorbed by Asta, who would then appear in front of Magma to protect them, as he would eat the beam, eating it with a smile on his face. That was delicious. Man, I gotta admit, this reincarnated stuff, they really understand what to do with the magic energy to make it even more delicious, he would say. As Asta would lick his lip. At this, Gauche would look at Asta with disgust. However, Magma was already too busy thinking, this guy, he's way stronger than he usually is. Now, Gauche, just like the rest of the Black Bulls, had gotten Asta's training, meaning that his body is way more advanced than it was in canon. So due to this, they're now fighting a way stronger Gauche. And plus with the amp from the reincarnated spell, Gauche's levels are they're really far, like what they're usually up against. It's only thanks to Asta's training that they're able to react and coordinate, but they also have to deal with Marie. At this, realizing that things were now getting under control, Gauche decides it was finally time for him to take things under his care. At this, mirrors begin to appear all around the battlefield as multiple magic knights would then stare into them, only to get looked at by Marie. I swear you guys will all be annihilated, you scum. As he would then suddenly end up freezing them in place as Marie will stare at them. This will cause and give an opportunity to reincarnated elves, allowing them to attack the magic knights who are unable to move, as they can do nothing more but scream out in pain as they get attacked. At this, Gauche would then look at them, as this will actually cause them to realize that currently right now the biggest threat right now was Gauche, as his magical abilities, thanks to the amp of Asta, was now it was a real threat. So with that being said, the Black Bulls then begin to coordinate, as each one of them will then they rejoin together. However, this was a mistake, as this one suddenly, as they were trying to regroup, a pink mist or a pink cloud would then suddenly absorb 4 members of the Black Bulls, this being Vanessa, Magma, Luck, and Charmy, as they would then be absorbed by none other than the captain of the Peacocks. As she would then appear there, just casually sleeping, or at least that's what it seemed, until she ends up dragging them into her pocket dimension. Now at this, the rest of the Black Bulls actually look on in surprise, as this will leave Gordon, Gray, and Asta, along with Henry, to face off against Gauche and Marie. At this, Asta would then look around and she would then see multiple magic knights begin to actually freeze up thanks to Marie's magic, as well as also get taken down by more of the reincarnated elves. No, we can't lose our foothold now. So with that, Asta then turns to Gordon and Gray as well as Henry, ordering them to start moving things around and protecting the people. At this will cause them to look at Asta, surprised, but they understand, as Asta's level of power was far beyond them. As Asta would send his attention to Gauche. I have to admit, this magical boost actually makes you seem like a possible challenge. But let's see if you can actually do something. At this, Asta has a smile on his face as Gauche would look on with disgust. How dare you look at me with your disgusting gaze, human. At this, he would then suddenly end up creating multiple mirrors around Asta, as Asta would then suddenly begin to evade them as he jumps into combat, as his fist would then ignite with magic. Fire Dragon Slayer art. Dragon Claw! As he then throws the attack directly at Gauche, Gauche would then suddenly vanish in a beam, as he would then appear right behind Asta. Is that all you got, human? At this, Asta would then look around to see none other than Gauche appearing in different mirrors all around before suddenly multiple beams would then be shot at him, causing him to be hit by each one. But he was not fazed at all as he shrugs off the attack. Is that all? Asta would say as he smirks. As we now turn our attention to the pocket dimension, as we see Dorothy, which, yeah, I do remember her name, but whenever I say it sounds weird. Dorothy, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it like that for now. So either way, Dorothy was currently right now holding the rest of the Black Bulls hostage, as she tells them that they're pretty much just gonna die there. They'll be falling into an endless sleep to where they were never gonna wake up. Now this will cause Vanessa, Magma, and Luck to actually realize that they were getting pretty tired, as Charmy, who had been eating non-stop, was also beginning to feel tired, as after all, a good meal plus a nice warm temperature was enough to put anyone to sleep. I speak from experience. However, this is when suddenly Charmy ends up getting up once again. I need to eat more. I can't sleep. As she tries once again trying to get up, but she's getting closer and closer to sleeping. How pathetic you humans are. Do you honestly believe you guys stood any chance against me? Now, rest for eternity. At this, she would then walk away as she would look on in disgust, thinking that it was over. However, this was a big mistake. At this, the Black Bulls would then realize that Charmy was asleep, and this would cause Magma to get pissed off. Oi, Charmy, wake up! At this, he tries grabbing her and shaking her, but she was not moving at all. Dang it! At this, Vanessa was actually now panicking right now. This can't be the end, right? All their training, all their hard work, this couldn't been the very end of it all, right? Vanessa begins to think of this, As she then, looks at Rouge, but at the same time, could there something that they could do? As she was thinking this, though, this one suddenly a ginormous creature from the dream world would then suddenly appear as it was preparing to eat the black bulls. Luckily, thanks to Vanessa's cat known as Rouge, it would end up stepping in the way, blocking it, and end up saving the black bulls from death, actually catching Dorothy's attention. Annoyance. At this, she was then summoning multiple of these creatures as they then suddenly approach the black bulls, trying to devour them, with Vanessa's magic being the only thing that's protecting them. Dang it! Is this really it? No way I'm gonna go out like this. These were the thoughts that were surrounding each member until suddenly, this is when Charmy wouldn't get up. What? At this, the black bulls wouldn't smile, cheering for Charmy, glad that she was awake, and asking her to help out. But this one suddenly, Charmy would then get a very serious expression. I'm too hungry to go to sleep, and you are in the way of making me eat more food. She would then look at the captain of the Coral Peacocks as Dorothy was looking at her in surprise. I thought you had moved on by now. As she had for sure thought that Charmy had died when she went to sleep, but she wasn't. At this, Charmy sighed as she decided that the only way that she was going to go to bed was by eating a full, fulfilling meal. And unfortunately, right now, she couldn't go to sleep in these temperatures. So with that, Charmy sighed as this is when suddenly her magic begins to become abrupt. I guess I have no choice but to get rid of this weird, comfortable, yet unable to make me eat mist. At this is when suddenly, shredding from its sheep cloth, you wouldn't see a ginormous gray wolf then appear, with a slash across its eye. At this, Charmy's appearance begins to take on a drastic change as well, as we see Charmy turning into her adult mode, as she would then age up, looking more like her age is supposed to be. The Black Bulls would look on in surprise as they did not see this coming. I mean, Charmy's training, it wasn't really that much broadcasted. In fact, at most they thought she got a little bit stronger, she was still strong already, but they were not expecting this. As Charmy thinks in this magical transformation, she would then turn to the wolf. Devour. At this, the wolf would then smile on his face as he looks around the entire area, as the dreamlike creatures were looking at this thing in confusion, but then tried to attack it. Oh, nice. Thanks for bringing me to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Trust me, I'm gonna eat as much as I can. He smiles as he then begins to open his mouth and devour, actually eating the pocket dimension. Dorothy's eyes would go wide as she would look at this as Charmy's magical power begins to rise up, as she would then jump off from the cloud as she punches each one of these beasts. This is for preventing me from eating. I can only go to sleep when I get a good meal, she would shout. She tries punching each and every single one of them with a pissed off expression. After all, nothing can stop her from eating, even sleep itself. Sleeping can come after eating. So with that being said, Charmy begins to demolish each one of these creatures as the wolf continues eating the pocket dimension. No, this can't be. That girl, she isn't human. The reincarnated elf would then think, as this is when suddenly she would then form multiple creatures to attack the wolf. However, in an instant, it was destroyed by Charmy. Her magical power is increasing even further. How? At this, Charmy was bouncing all over the place, destroying everything, as the wolf continued eating up the pocket dimension. At this is when Charmy would then suddenly slam the final beast before turning her attention onto Dorothy. And then there's you. Thank you for bringing me to this comfortable place, but I must eat. At this, she would then suddenly jump off the cloud, as she would then jump right in front of Dorothy, as she can do nothing more but actually, get back. As this one suddenly, with a very powerful punch to the face, Charmy would then knock out the reincarnated elf as she's unable to do anything. This can't be. The wolf continues devouring the pocket dimension until finally it ends up creating a ginormous crack. The Black Bulls seeing this would then suddenly end up teaming up as they try using their magical power combined to get out of the way, as Charmy will continue beating up on Dorothy until finally she ends up, just there unconscious. Let that teach you a lesson, huh? At this, Charmy would then suddenly jump out as she would then be taken along with the current, as she, along with the wolf, would then be sent out and kicked out of the pocket dimension, with the wolf complaining that he didn't get to finish his delicious meal. So with that being said, the Black Bulls were once again saved, as we see them now falling out the pocket dimension, as Charmy would then actually smile as she would then return back to her normal appearance. That was nice. I'm still hungry. At this, she'll then create more food as she begins to devour it with a smile on her face, saying how good it was, while the black bulls are just looking at her if she was insane. Did you guys know Charmy can do that? Vanessa would say as she looks at Magma and Luck, to which both of them shake their heads. With Luck actually interested in fighting Charmy, as that looked like it would be quite a good matchup. As just as they do this, they will then suddenly end up sensing an attack approaching. As they end up dodging away, as they end up looking up into the sky in surprise. What the? At this, we will now turn our attention to Asta. All right, this is getting annoying. Asta would say, as he was currently fighting off against Gauche, as he would then activate one of his new powerful steps. During the fight against Gauche, he activated a new powerful spell that he created. This one being called Mirror Dimension. Yes, I'm using the MCU name. It just sounds so cool, like Mirror Dimension. But it's not like it, okay? So pretty much what it does is that he opened up some type of miniature pocket dimension in his mirrors that Asta gets swallowed up to. However, it's not really a pocket dimension though. So pretty much he opens up like a ginormous mirrors all around. So whenever Asta throws an attack, he ends up getting his attack reflect right back at him. And so far, Asta has not been able to really escape it. He's just been surrounded by mirrors all over. And whenever he destroys one, they just regenerate instantly. And the attack that Asta used will then be sent right back at him. You were trapped here for all eternity, human. Suffer everything that you caused to my brothers and sisters. You will pay for what you've done. At this, Asta with sighs, he was just casually floating inside this dimension before getting pissed off. Alright, you had your fun. Now it's time to end this. At this, Asta begins to charge up ginormous amount of magic energy as he opens his mouth, absorbing a large amount of the mirrors. Now, Gauche's magical power will once again flare up as he tries stopping Asta's attack. As he goes on and regenerates the mirrors as Asta continues trying to absorb them. No. Marie, is it okay you can... However, Marie will then suddenly end up stepping up as she doesn't even care. She will help her brother, even if he didn't want her help. At this, Gauche will have a smile on his face as he will then use the eyes of Marie. As this is when suddenly Asta will then be paralyzed. You will not be able to move. You will pay for what you've done, Marie would say. As Asta, who was currently suspended in mid-air, would then suddenly sense a ginormous amount of attack approaching him. You think you can stop me with this? Nice try. At this one suddenly Asta would then suddenly burst out as he would then suddenly tear through the dimension, freeing himself, as Gauche can do nothing more but look on in dismay. I lost. At this, he would look up above as Asta was coming down with a ginormous dragon claw as he stares down at Gauche with a smile on his face. It was a good fight, but unfortunately, you lost. As he would then slam a fist directly into Gauche's face, as the powerful attack would end up knocking out the reincarnated elf in an instant, as well as cause ginormous shockwaves, sending multiple people flying. As just like that, as soon as the flash was then done, Gauche would currently be laid out on the ground as he would be in a T-pose, laying in a crater. As Asta would look at him. That was a good warm up, he would say as he had a smile on his face. At this, Marie, who watched all this, would then look on in surprise as Asta would then turn his attention onto her, causing her to shrink back in fear as she backs away. Stay away from me, human, she would say in fear. But Asta just approaches her and ends up patting her on the head. That was a good fight. When you grow up, you should go ahead and join the Black Bulls. Trust me, with your magic, you can easily outrank a lot of our members, he would say, with a smile on his face. At this, Maria would look on in surprise, as she would then suddenly shrug off Asta's hand, saying why would she want to join the humans, but Asta just shrugs. It doesn't really matter. Listen, I'm sorry things have to turn out this way, but at least you get to move on with a person that you cared with. At this, Asta would then open his mouth as he then absorbs the reincarnated spell, freeing the reincarnated elf as she would then pass on, but he does the same thing with Gauche, causing both siblings to move on together. At this, both siblings sigh as they look down with sadness before looking at Asta, giving him a smile as well as a token of gratitude for setting them free, at least with each other. So with that being said, Gauche will then be laying there on the corner before Asta then turns to Gray. Hey Gray, can you heal this guy up real quick? At this, Gray would nod her head as she instantly runs over to Gauche trying to heal him, as thanks to her, which by the way, Gray's magic is ridiculous. Whoever created that, Gray's magic is ridiculous. It's not just simple transformation magic. It's so much more. It's busted. And honestly, I really wish he expanded on it more. So due to this, Gray ends up actually using her magic. She would actually end up healing Gauche's injuries in an instant, as he'd be covered in just ginormous cloud. And then suddenly, just like that, all the injuries and blood were gone. While doing so, the Black Bulls went and look around as the battle was now coming to an end. They seemingly won, as the reincarnated elves at this point, some of them were already defeated at this point. There were not a lot of them standing. The most powerful ones were already knocked out, especially Ghost, since he was carrying most of them, thanks to Marie and his reflect reframe, magic. So due to this, the Black Bulls end up taking the victory, as they at first, are relishing, like they're happy and everything. Until this one, suddenly the Shadow Palace would then appear, hovering over the Clover Kingdom, and begin to release an eerie amount of magic energy. Well, kids, looks like you guys did a fine job without me, he would say. As we would then see Captain Yami also walk out, he would look up into the sky to see the Shadow Palace. Great, this is not good. And to make even things worse, I have to find the prickly princess, aka Captain Charlotte. As Yami, as he was fighting the reincarnated elves, he ran into Charlotte, and they had scrapped. They had actually fought quite well with each other. But in the end of the day, Charlotte ended up retreating for a while, so this caused Yami to have no choice but to go on a search for her. However, as he was walking, he would then stop as he then looks at Asta, as well as the rest of them, telling them that they did a good job. As well as also arriving would be Noel and Zora, as they also ended up arriving along with Finral. So with that, the Black Bulls are now reunited. As this is when, of course, they'll ask questions like, who Henry was, what happened, as well as the fact that the rest of the Magic Knights are there, such as the Magic Knight captains, will then also rejoin, along with Mary Leona, who also end up recovering. So at this point, the battle was now in their favor, but they need to take care of the final threats. So with that being said, the Black Bulls end up making up a team, which Asta completely ignores, as this man was too excited, or that's what they thought, but Asta had a different reason. As just as he saw the Shadow Palace appear, and just as everyone else regrouped, Asta had jumped up into the air and just entered into the portal without any regard for anyone else, as they could do nothing more but look at him with a sighing expression. Does he always does this? Nozoa says as he looks at Asta as he just leaves, to which the rest of the Black Bulls can do nothing more but nod their head, as they remember all the times that Asta just dashes off, leaving everyone alone with no explanation. As we now turn our attention to Asta, as he was currently right now just floating through the subspace, Asta was thinking of something. The magic energy. What was it? It was only for a few seconds. It was not even that, it was only for a few seconds, but as the Shadow Palace was appearing, Asta was sensing the magic energies inside. The magic energies of Patri, Raya, and Licht. But there was one more magic energy that was in there. It was eerie. It was evil. And Asta, he could sense it just right there thriving. It was slowly growing in power as the Shadow Palace was approaching. And he wondered exactly what it was. It wasn't the reincarnated elves, as their magic was nothing more but full of, it was powerful, but you can sense emotion behind it. And the emotions it was expressing was that of anger, rage, and just sadness. But this one was just nothing more but downright cruel. It was happiness, it was joyful, and it was sadistic, as it felt like it was enjoying all the chaos that was happening. And Asta, he didn't like it. He didn't like the idea of this demonic magic energy, so of course he went off to explore. Plus, he also realized one thing. This magical energy was the only one that could, this thing was almost at the level of the Wizard King itself. Its magical energy was comparing to that. So as Asta ends up approaching, we see him eventually end up arriving at the dimension, as unlike in canon, Asta would actually end up arriving to where the captain, aka Real, would end up being, as he was currently right now making his creations. Nope, that's not it, he would say, as he currently right now was holding a brush as he was painting. Before suddenly he was then sense Asta's presence. Huh? At this, he ends up looking down, only to see Asta as his eyes would then widen. You! At this, he ends up creating a ginormous amount of monsters made out of art as he attack Asta in an instant, but Asta would then shrug off the blows as he kills them in an instant. I'm not here for you. Alright, you're not even worth my time. I'm here for something else. As Asta would then look above, he would then begin to suck up all the artistic creatures that were created as he absorbs each and every single one of them. Stop! Stop, you human! You're ruining my masterpiece! He would shout out, but Asta ignored him, as he would then eat up all of Rose' artistic creatures. Thanks. At this, Asta wouldn't concentrate on his breathing, as this one suddenly he would then let out a ginormous dragon's roar, tearing through the base until it eventually ends up reaching the room where he wanted it to hit. Perfect, Asta would say. At this, Real's eyes would widen in shock as he then glares angrily at Asta. How dare you? How dare you think you can? But Asta just sighs. He then appears right in front of Real before suddenly backhanding him in the face, then flying and crashing into a wall. I told you I had no time for you. At this, Asta ends up jumping up into the air as he ends up passing through each one of the rooms. As the reincarnated elves that are currently right there can do nothing more but watch as they just see Asta fly past their room in an instant. As they can do nothing more but wonder what the heck just happened. Except for a very certain few as Fauna and Veto, as they had both been, reincarnated once again. I don't know how they did it so fast, but they did. As they had sensed Asta's presence, and they were honestly shooken to the core, as they couldn't believe that he was back. As we ended up looking at the very top of the tower, as the blow had hit the very top of it, we were seeing Raya actually shaking in fear as he senses the magic energy approaching. No. It's too soon for him to arrive. We have to do this quickly, he would say as he looks at Patri, who is also nodding in fear. Asta had proven himself to be a threat, and they couldn't have him here, not right now. They're almost done with Lick's full-on reincarnation process. At this, he ends up turning to another one of their allies, as they tell him that they need to get through with this quickly, as he ends up giving him a certain pendant. So with this, we'll finally be able to get reincarnated, huh? We'll finally be able to achieve our goals. Yeah, Partry would say with a smile on his face. At this, the man wouldn't smile. I'm glad. Raya actually ends up hearing this and actually looks at him in confusion. Hey, I gotta ask you something. Why did you lie? He would say. At this, silence begins to fall in as Lick will look on in confusion before suddenly also ended up appearing, slamming through the barrier as he ends up looking out with a smile on his face. So, I finally found you. Man, your magic is so disgusting. I could smell it from here, Asta would say as he looks at the man. At this, Patri seeing Asta would then suddenly end up creating a light spear, but Raya was not responding to Asta as he looked at this man. At this, you would then hear a crooked sound of the man smiling, as Raya's eyes would then go wide as Asta would then appear right in front of him, as he then blocks an attack that was sent directly at Raya's stomach, as Raya and Asta actually be pushed back slightly. What is going on? Patri would say, as this when suddenly the reincarnated elf that was once there would then smile, as he looks at Licht. Thank you for being such foolish beings, he would say. At this when suddenly we end up seeing something disturbing, as the elf begins to reveal his true appearance, as Asta, as well as Raya and Patri would then look on in shock, as he would then tear off the human disguise that he had, revealing the true hideous demon that he truly was, as he ends up appearing right in front of them. The word demon. As with the crooked smile, he will look at each one of them with a smiling expression, while Licht is unable to do anything but look on in shock and in disgust. What the hell are you? He would say, as the demon can do nothing more but laugh in Patri's face, as he was enjoying the thing in front of him, while also would look at this guy with a disgusted expression. This was nasty. Like the magic energy here, it just smelled bad, as he looks at this man. Eventually, we also end up seeing that right outside the Clover Kingdom, you'll see the rest of the Magic Knights as they finally have formed a plan and were now ready to set off, as they all jump into the castle, just as the usual group does. And accompanying them was none other than Yuno, who also ended up arriving, as he himself also jumped into the portal as well, ready to join them. And along with him was also Charmy, just to let you know. By the way, I forgot to mention this, but sorry if you guys hear my voice is a little bit weird, or it's lower than usual. My voice has been under a lot of stress, and due to that, I am legit slowly losing my voice. It's gonna recover over time, but like if I make these videos like longer and everything, and yeah, it's even when I went on the vacation, like my voice is like was still like this. So yeah, it's kind of difficult to make the videos or like really like show and shoot out like loud voices, but I'm trying my best. I want to deliver content to y'all. So if you guys hear my voices like for the past few videos like start acting like lower or like being way below what I usually do, it's that reason. But yeah, besides that, let's turn back to the what if. So we end up now turning our attention back to Asta as he currently right now was staring at the word demon. As the man was laughing in Patri's face as he explains and retells about the events that had occurred. How he pretty much had caused the extinction of the elves and pretty much had caused all this chaos for his own selfish desire to get a grimoire. Now this would send Patri in a rage as he tries creating multiple light spirits to counter him. But this when suddenly, just as he does so, the word demon will then cause multiple wounds to appear on Patri as he ends up falling over, coughing up blood. No, Patri! Riot tries to attack the word demon, but he ends up actually knocking out Riot in an instant, sending him flying, causing Riot to be like KO'd, as he's legit like knocked out unconscious. This ends up leaving Asta as he ends up facing off against the word demon. And then there's you. You truly are an interesting individual. I did not plan for your arrival here. At this, he smiles as he looks at Asta. At this, Asta has a smile on his face too. Good. I was gonna think that this was gonna be boring. Your magic sucks. It stinks. But overall, you're powerful, and I can acknowledge that. So why don't you go and give me a real challenge? At this, Asta has a smile on his face, so the word demon would then tell Asta that he was beneath him. However, just as he does, this one suddenly both of them would then sense familiar magic energy. Well, to Asta at least, as this one suddenly Asta wouldn't have a smile on his face, as appearing right beside him would be none other than Yuno. Took you long enough. I was held back for a few moments, Yuno would say. At this, the word demon would then look at Yuno with interest. One wielder of the four-leaf, the other one having magical energy that far surpasses that of any human I've sensed. Truly interesting. At this, the word demon would then begin to rise up in the air. As this is when Asta and Yuno would then feel the gravitational pull would then get stronger as they feel themselves cracking into the ground. Now, Yuno, of course, it takes all his strength to actually stand up again. But Asta, he shrugs off the extra weight. After all, he's a dragon. He's easily able to deal with this. At this, Asta would then turn to Yuno. Is that all you got? Hearing this would then feel once again his fighting spirit rise up as he then stands up. Not in your life. After all, I'm going to become the Wizard King. At this, Asta and Yuno would then begin to rev up their magic as Yuno would then enter into his spirit dive as he ends up entering his full form. While Asta, he also begins to take on a transformation. I've been saving up this one for a while, Yuno. Asta had thought about this one for a while, ever since he first used it in the Witch's Forest. But he didn't want to use it to that extent, considering the fact that, well, it seems so taxing. Besides, he wants the feeling of actually, going into a fight and actually, like, not just obliterating them, just, fighting as casually. So with that, Asta ends up using the transformation as he ends up making a smaller dragon form of himself, merging the two together as Asta would then suddenly end up sprouting out his arms as he would then gain gray scales as he would then suddenly sprout out wings behind his back. At this, as well as the demon would then look at Asta's transformation as he would have a smile on his face. Let's take him on, Yuno. At this, Yuno would nod as both of them would then stare down at the demon as he has a smile on his face. Interesting. Let's begin, shall we? At this, Asta and Yuno would nod as he would then suddenly dash towards Zagfried. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. Anyway, they would then approach the word demon as they then suddenly throw their respective attacks as the word demon would then suddenly conjure up swords as he would then swing them at Asta and Yuno with a smile on his face. How do you guys think the battle is going to go down? Type down below in the comment section down below. It is your host, Sage G Samurai, and I'm ending this part of this what if. Holy crap, guys. Yeah. My voice is like screwed up right now. Like, I kid you not. I was forcing myself to legit try talking in this video, but like even right now, you guys can like hear the change in my voice. Like I like my voice is legit like it's stressed out. Jeez. Yeah. So guys, I'll still try to post content for y'all. What I'm trying to do right now is, if you guys noticed throughout this video, I added less detail and just trying to go along with the story. It's because of the fact that I want to make these what ifs like, I want to get to these what ifs to be like shorter, like the videos to be shorter, but the story, it follows in a continuous flow. You know what I mean? Because sometimes one video is longer than the other, and it just continues on the process. I want to just tell an arc and then go to the next arc and then go to the next arc before finishing it off. You know? But hey, it is what it is. So unfortunately, I can't really do anything right now. But hey, it's your host Seiji Samurai. I hope you guys do enjoy the video. Comment down below what you guys want to happen in the next part. And due to that, I am heading off. Peace and have a lovely day. I'm gonna go relax my voice now.